Hey, good morning. It's Sunday, April 23rd, and thanks for tuning in. It's Darlene Morgan, and you can catch me also on Facebook, Apple, and Spotify, and now on YouTube. So, anyway, I need to get on here because as you can see, I'm in my car and I'm at the Ball Diamonds, and I want to be able to use this time wisely. It's really hard for me to write stuff down and then recite it because then it doesn't actually feel real to me. So I did write some things down that I've kind of felt and gone over the past couple of days. And I thought, that's a good way to stay focused. And so I had recorded an episode on Friday night because we were at the Ball Diamonds, and I ended up deleting it because, it's, your mind just does these things to you. And, hey, that's why I'm here, because I want to take you through my journey. And so you can see exactly, how God is working in my life. So anyway, I did try to write down a few things so we could try to refine it. I can stay focused. And just give you some content. So let's get started here. I want to begin with what I had started talking about Friday because my mind was still really kind of twirling from a meeting that I'd had the day before. And the meeting, it was effective. It was one that was meant to try to bring my business partner and I a little bit closer together. It's really hard to run a business with someone that you'd been in a relationship with, and now you're strictly just business partners. And, it's just something that, I have to get past. I have to let some forgiveness come forward. I have to let some past go. But on the other hand, there are things that as, we navigate through relationships that have kind of, stayed within your mind that are really hard to let go. But it's up to you. It's up to me to decide how to approach that and where to find grace and let things go. So, this meeting was mediated by a third party, and my takeaway from it was, we tried to meet in an hour and a half, and it ended up taking 2 hours because it wasn't until the very end of the meeting that I really spoke up and expressed a lot of feelings that were on my mind. And once that was done, some things were revealed that, I need to find a therapist. And I've had one for a very long time and throughout my years, and I've kind of let it go, I think, just because of my schedule. And I've got some really close girlfriends that are super helpful and some great Christian friends that are my go-to. And, sometimes that's enough. And other times you discover, hey, there's things in your past that, not even within the last 10 years or 5 years, but it even goes farther back that you discover, I got to get this out of my system. And that way I can be done with it. So, that's what I discovered from it is that, I'm not done talking to someone. I need to find someone else. On the other hand, I do believe in myself. I do believe when something is bothering me and I can't let it go, I do feel like that is the Holy Spirit working within me. And, us females, when we get those feelings in our gut that just say something just isn't right, you're not going to be able to have somebody tell you that it's irrelevant in 2 hours when they don't know the entire history. So when I walked away from this meeting, and for the next 24 hours, I really had to I had to pray on it, for one. I had to process it all. And, I had to process it all on my own because, a lot of things that are not being said because, you want to respect the privacy of others means that you yourself are not going to get a fair judgment, or you're not going to get a fair view because you can't say everything. And, I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with that. And, the other takeaway is I can't expect someone to just listen for a couple hours and state their facts and their opinions. And I can't let that get to me, because when I walked away from that over the next 24 hours, I really felt like, man, I must be out of my mind. Something's going on here. Like, did I imagine all these things that are really bothering me? And, you have to tell yourself, okay, I had somebody help us. If you seek outside help and decide, okay, if this person didn't have enough information, I have to realize that that's on me and I can't let it get to me. And then also, too, the takeaway is I'm going to learn from this and I'm going to humble myself from it. But I'm also going to remember that my feelings and my thoughts are valid. And if I can't do anything about it moving forward, then I have to do something with myself. And that means letting it go or slowly working on a resolution, whatever that might be, whether it's, with the other person, whether it's within yourself, whether it's bringing somebody else into the picture that can really help, not just in 2 hours, but for the long haul. And by doing that, I know that if I do that, I know that I'm going to feel tons better, and my feelings are going to be validated, and, I'm going to be able to seek forgiveness a lot easier, and I myself am going to change from it. And ultimately, when we have a problem with somebody else, it's not our problem to resolve. If they are doing something that we feel isn't appropriate, or it isn't right, or, it's just an attitude or behavior that, even they themselves, they can't fix, that bugs us. I have to understand that I definitely have things about myself that I know are irritating to other people. And the only person, this is so cliche, the only person that I can work on is me. And that's what I'm doing. And that's a part of why, I am, working on this YouTube channel so that I can be more transparent. I can even see myself through these videos and see how far I'm going to go, how far I've come, and, where it's going to get me. And also to show you guys that, God is real. He can work in your life, and He can change things, and He can help you. So as a result of that meeting, it resonated with me for, a good 24 hours. And when that kind of stuff happens to me, it's like all of a sudden anything else aside from that occurs that doesn't go well in my life, I just contribute it all to I'm a failure. I'm not doing something right. God doesn't want this of me. Satan's attacking me. And all of a sudden, man, I'm just like, my head is just spinning and it feels tiring. There's a lot of anxiety that comes with it. And, as a single mom, you're just going and going, and you just question every single bit of your life. And, we can't do that. I can't do that. I say to myself, I don't have time for this. I I need to talk to somebody, or if I can't do it, then I've got to take some serious time to pray, and I've got to let some things go so that I can be a better person, I can be a better mom, I can be a better business owner, and I can take care of what needs to be taken care of right now in the moment. And in this moment, in these past, 48 hours, I've needed to take care of my daughter. She's playing ball this weekend. We've, had 3 road trips to Kansas City. And during those road trips, she is a very serious girl, young lady. She's 14 years old, and she's very serious about her sports. I personally never played sports when I was a kid, so it's kind of hard for me to relate. Even if I did play sports, it's absolutely nothing like what it is now, where the extent of it goes beyond just playing a ball game and it's win or lose. It goes beyond that. There's a lot of pressure to it. There's a lot of need to perform a certain way, especially if you're in a club. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think, for my daughter, I always try to check in with her and make sure that, she's doing something that she loves. One comment that I made to her yesterday as we're driving home, and, she's super quiet, which just drives me crazy, but I have to learn that that's who she is. I personally, when something happens and, I'm getting over an event, I have to process. My daughter, she's not the same. As we're going to the games, she's really quiet. She's just taking it all in, what's going to happen on the field or the court. As we're leaving the game, once again, she's deep in her thoughts, or she's tired. That's her way of processing. But, one thing I did tell her or ask her was, hey, does this bring you joy? And yeah, it's another cliche saying, but I think it's true. I think it's absolutely true when we need to ask ourselves, is what we're doing, does it bring us happiness? Does it bring us joy? Does it make us feel good? Does it feel more like work as opposed to, something that we want to do? And, I'm not going to try to speculate anything. It's important that, she has that opportunity to decide for herself. My role in this is to be a supportive mom and try to figure out who I need to be for her in those moments. And if what I need to be as a sports mom to her is just be silent, let her have her time, get her something to eat, get her rested, get her showered, and then give her that opportunity to talk, whether it's with me and or her sisters, that's what's super important. And I'm learning that. And, I'm super thankful for that, I can figure that out and I can work on it because, I want my daughters to be happy. I want them to make really good decisions. And I also want them to know that, I am here for them, and I'm working on being a better mom and a healthier minded mom. Which actually brings me to something else that I wanted to discuss with you guys, and that is, I'm using this channel as a way to help others so that you can see that, hey, if I can make these changes, so can you. And it could be super hard. It can take a long time. But you need to see who I am now, because you can't see who I was. I can talk to you about it, which, I'm about to tell you a little bit. And from that, just realize that God can work wonders. I mean, positively, He can work, tremendous wonders in you, because He's done that for me. I probably could not have that talk I had with Clara yesterday if I was the same person I was um, 5 years ago. 5 years seems like a long time, but in the sports world, it's really not, because, it's season to season. All of a sudden, the seasons just seem to kind of like all flow together. And, I want to talk a lot, and you'll hear me talk a lot about, you know, my time and this era of time when I was going to all these ball games and I had beer and vodka hidden inside of my cooler. And like when the girls were warming up, that's when I would run to the liquor store and I would grab me my my drinks, and I would just keep them hidden away. And that's what made me able to talk to my girls, able to be brave, so to say. Because I can honestly tell you that, if I was who I was back then, yesterday, I probably would have pressed my daughter to speak more to me. I probably would have gotten more stern, like, you have to talk to me. You have to process this. You have to get it out. Because I would have been projecting onto her what I needed. And, Claire's super different. But at the time when your mind is consumed with alcohol or whatever substance your go-to is, you're not going to think clearly. And I didn't think clearly back then. All I could think about was what I needed to hear, and what I needed to do. And that's absolutely not okay. I can tell you this much, that, over the past 72 hours, I see a lot of change in myself. I see a lot of maturity. I see myself definitely growing through a relationship with Christ, and knowing that I'm not the person that I was. The person that I am now, I can think more clearly, and I can be someone that is better for my girls. I'm still needing to do a lot of work with myself. It does not mean that, just because I don't drink anymore doesn't mean that, everything I say and do is going to be spot on, because it's not. It's still a constant process, and that's kind of, where I want to take you through, and hopefully help you, because I want you to know that you're absolutely not alone. Us single moms, us single parents, we go through a lot of stuff especially when you're on your own, you're with your son or daughter, you're traveling alone, you don't know what to say to them, you're dealing with your own gunk and what has happened in your life in the past 72 hours, and you're trying to push all that aside because all of a sudden your son or daughter needs you to be in a space and time that is most helpful for them. So anyway, I have gone through, that feeling of discouragement, reflection, prayer, and now here I am, Sunday morning, finally able to hopefully produce something that has been helpful to you, and listening to me just kind of chat, carry on, and just give you my thoughts. Hopefully it was of good substance to you. I would love to definitely pray with you guys. Please definitely reach out to me, post a comment, post a question, ask me anything that you want to just kind of let me know that you're out there, and you also have your stuff going on. If you would rather, private message me, do that as well. I'm absolutely here for you guys. On our way here, we always listen to church. That's something else that I think is also super helpful. Sunday mornings are kind of an awkward time to put on the hip hop. And so anyway, do what you can to just really get yourself, your mind going and focused and where it needs to be for the day. Anyway, in the meantime, keep praying, keep resting, take care of yourself, get some exercise, get some sun. Ask Jesus to come into your heart and build that relationship. Let me know how I can help you with that as well. Press on. Just keep pressing on. And hey, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you guys. We are done for the day, so that means I'm going home, probably going to mow my yard. And that's one of my things that I do to just, it really helps my mind. So find something that you love to do that really kind of helps you, get away from chaos and stuff like that. And just keep praying. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, tune in, share. Appreciate it so much. Definitely hit a subscribe button on Apple and Spotify. Love you guys. Talk to you later.